My beloved child, come close and listen carefully. What I am about to tell you is meant especially for you. Not for everyone else, not for the crowd, but for you, the one hearing these words right now. You are not here by accident. There are no accidents in the story I am writing through your life. This moment was appointed long before you knew how to call on my name. It was woven into your days before your journey ever began. I am here. I am speaking to you. And with all the love of heaven, I tell you that something remarkable has already changed around your life. The unseen realm has been stirred on your behalf. A door has been opened that no person, no plan of the enemy, and no voice of doubt will ever be able to shut. It opened because of you. Because you kept believing when belief felt impossible. Because you remained obedient when obedience cost more than you thought you could give. Because you finally chose surrender with courage and trust. My precious child, you did it. You stepped across the place I had been leading you toward. You released what needed to be released. You trusted me without knowing what was ahead. You obeyed when it would have been easier and far less painful to walk away. And that decision, that hidden and costly act of surrender, moved heaven itself. One choice shifted things in your favor for eternity. Declare your amen if you believe. What seemed like a private decision, unnoticed by everyone around you, became a mighty announcement in heaven. Angels paid attention. The enemy trembled, and my heart rejoiced over you with a joy too great to fully express in human words. In that very moment I spoke over your life. This is the time. This is the hour. This is the release. Not later. Not someday. Now. The word I am giving you today carries that same declaration. It is being planted deeply into your spirit so it can take root and produce a harvest that will leave you filled with wonder. My child, I have walked beside you through a long season, a season that tested the deepest parts of your trust in me. I know the nights. I know the quiet prayers you lifted toward heaven, wondering if anyone heard. I know the mornings when you woke carrying burdens that were never meant to rest on your shoulders. I know the afternoons when exhaustion settled so heavily upon you that you questioned whether anything would ever truly change. You kept waiting when the delay felt unbearable. You endured when endurance demanded everything you had left. You kept holding on to me, even when you could no longer feel my hand holding yours. Yet every one of those moments was planting seed into the soil of your future. Seed that is now beginning to grow. Seed that time could not destroy, the enemy could not steal, and silence could not stop. You have reached the place where hidden obedience becomes visible blessing. Where quiet tears become powerful testimony. Where waiting gives way to fulfillment so complete and so far beyond what you dared imagine that you will stand in the middle of it in grateful amazement. Something has shifted in the unseen realm. It has shifted completely, and it has shifted permanently. My precious child, I want you to understand as clearly as heaven itself that I was never distant from you during those years of waiting. Not for one moment. I never ignored your cries. I never overlooked your pain. I saw every tear and gathered each one. I heard every sigh, every unfinished prayer, every groan too deep for words. And I remembered them all. I watched you enter places where you felt invisible and overlooked, and I whispered to your spirit, I see you. I know you. I have not forgotten you. Even when you doubted that whisper, even when it seemed too small against the noise of loneliness, it remained true. It was real. It was my voice. While you waited, I was working behind the scenes of time itself, arranging details with a care and precision that would amaze you if you could see it now. I was positioning people whose paths would meet yours at exactly the right time. I was preparing opportunities designed specifically for who you are. I was breaking chains you did not know existed. I was tearing down barriers that would have limited what I planned to do through your life. I was closing doors you desperately wanted opened, doors that appeared good on the outside, but carried dangers you could not see. My silence was never abandonment. My delay was never rejection. What looked like absence was actually one of the most active seasons of preparation in your life. State, I trust if you have faith. And now, beloved child, the timing has met your obedience. Preparation has met surrender. The seed has met the season of harvest. What is being released into your life from this moment onward carries the unmistakable mark of heaven. I need you to understand the true spiritual weight of what you have done. When you chose faith while fear was shouting at you, things shifted in the unseen realm that no human instrument could ever measure. When you chose obedience instead of staying comfortable in old patterns, you weakened the plans formed against your future. When you surrendered control instead of holding tightly to it, you opened your life to my hand in a way that words alone never could. Do you see it now? That moment you thought was insignificant. That choice you believed was small. Letting go of bitterness that had lived inside you for years. Forgiving someone who hurt you when forgiveness felt impossible. Placing a dream into my hands when it felt like the only thing keeping you moving forward. Walking away from something I asked you to leave behind, even though it cost you familiar comfort. That was not small. That was powerful. That was a turning point written into your story long before you understood what was happening. That was the key that opened what had been kept safe for you in heaven, preserved and waiting for the moment your hands became ready to receive it. My precious child, you finally reached the place I was leading you toward. And because you have, the release can no longer be postponed. Heaven is already moving on your behalf. Doors that seemed permanently closed are opening wide through power no human hand could provide. The chains that held on to you for years, chains of lack, delay, limitation, and the false words spoken over your life by people who never understood your value, have fallen away. The atmosphere around your life has changed in a deep and lasting way. You are moving from waiting into receiving, from seasons of tears into the joy that arrives with the morning, from wandering through the wilderness into the promise that has carried your name since before you entered this world. You may not recognize all of it right now. The blessings I release do not always arrive with great announcements. Often the greatest movements in your life begin so quietly that you could almost overlook them. But the evidence is coming. It will be clear. It will be visible, real, and impossible to dismiss as luck or coincidence. You will not need to persuade people that I have worked in your life. They will see it for themselves. They will stand amazed at what unfolds before them. Even those who doubted you the most will know that my hand has been upon the life of one who refused to let go of me. Declare I receive this. If your heart is ready, my beloved child, allow me to speak about what your perseverance has truly required and what it has truly secured. Every time you remained standing when falling seemed easier. Every time you kept holding on while every reasonable voice told you to quit. Every time you chose faith while doubt sounded louder and more convincing, it was noticed. Not only noticed but recorded. Angels watched in wonder. The enemy trembled. Not because of your strength, because many times your strength was gone, but because you chose to remain. You did not understand what was happening in those moments. You thought you were simply surviving. You thought you were only making it through one more difficult day. But the truth is you were overcoming. You were walking in a victory that had not yet become visible. You were tearing down spiritual barriers that had stood against your future for years. With every costly, determined, beautiful act of faith, you planted seeds that are now breaking into a harvest season, unlike anything you have known before. Your tears, my child, were never wasted. Not one. Every tear you shed in secret, every tear that fell in darkness when no one knew what you carried, I was there. I gathered each one as something precious. Every tear became a prayer. Every sigh became a cry. Every groan from your spirit became a seed placed into the soil of my storehouse. Now those seeds are beginning to rise. The tears that seemed meaningless were watering the ground of the miracles that are now approaching you. The nights you cried alone were nights when heaven drew near. Those were moments when the distance between your heart and mine disappeared. The nights when grief soaked your pillow were nights when I grieved beside you and quietly began weaving redemption from your pain. Your tears created a river, my beloved. And now that river is moving. It carries blessing, restoration, and a joy so deep that it will surprise you because it will arrive in the very places where joy once seemed impossible. And what about those prayers you thought were unanswered? The prayers you repeated again and again until your voice grew tired and your faith felt weak, and you wondered whether your words were reaching anything at all. Every one of them reached me. I never turned away. I treasured those prayers and preserved them perfectly, waiting for the right moment when the answer would carry the greatest impact, accomplish the greatest good, and create the deepest transformation. You thought the silence meant I forgot you, but the silence was part of my plan. The silence was me arranging people, circumstances, and timing so carefully that when the answer arrived, it would not simply come. It would come at the exact moment and accomplish everything I intended. My child, that moment has arrived. The silence is over. The appointed season is here. What you prayed for, what you longed for, what you continued hoping for even in your most discouraged moments, I am releasing now. And not only what you requested, more than you requested, beyond your prayers, beyond your dreams, beyond what your imagination could stretch to contain. For I am the God who does far beyond all you can ask or think. And your hidden obedience, my beloved, has touched my heart deeply. Those moments when nobody was watching, and nobody would have blamed you for taking the easier road, yet you obeyed anyway. Those times when obedience cost you something valuable, something meaningful, something you had worked hard to build. You turned from temptation even when it looked attractive. You forgave when bitterness begged you to stay. You chose truth when dishonesty seemed easier. You stayed faithful when leaving appeared reasonable and even wise. You gave when giving cost you. You served when serving drained you. You continued loving when others rejected you. Every hidden act of obedience became a seed planted in holy ground. And now those seeds are pushing through the soil. What you did in secret, I will reward openly. What you surrendered quietly, I will honor publicly. The obedience you offered in the shadows is about to shine in the light of my glory. My precious child, I am asking you now to do something that moves beyond words into action. Place a portion of your provision on the stone altar of this ministry as a living covenant of trust. Let what you release from your hand be the proof that you believe my hand will provide. This is not a transaction, but a declaration, a holy act that says, I trust the giver more than the gift. Press your seed into the soil of this kingdom work, and watch as the harvest, that has been waiting behind the dam of your release, comes flooding through the vaults of heaven. Respond to surrendered hands. Open yours and see what I am holding for you on the other side. My child, listen closely. The season of delay has ended. I need these words to reach deeper than your thoughts, into the place where true certainty lives. The silence is broken. Heaven is already moving on your behalf in ways you have not yet noticed, and it is moving quickly. Blessings once held behind unseen doors are now being released. Chains that block provision have been shattered. Obstacles are being removed from your path. Not through your striving, not through your efforts to control circumstances, but through my direct and powerful intervention in your story. What was withheld is now being released. What was delayed is now being accelerated. I am sending answers, provision, healing, opportunities, and breakthroughs so close together that even the most doubtful observer will not be able to deny what I am doing in your life. The blessings will not arrive as a slow trickle, my beloved. They will come like a flood. They will surround you. They will overtake you. They will be greater than you expected. I am not simply giving you enough to get by. I am releasing overflow. Blessing poured out until there is no room left to contain it, and still more continues to come. I am not only restoring what was taken from you, I am increasing it and returning it multiplied beyond what was lost. I am not merely responding to your prayers. I am going beyond them, surpassing what you thought to ask, and showing you a depth of my goodness that you did not yet know to seek. The heavens stand open over your life. Angels are already moving at my command on your behalf. The atmosphere surrounding you has changed, and you will begin to recognize it. Where dryness once remained, rain is arriving. Where nothing seemed able to grow, fruit is appearing. Where silence lingered, songs will be heard. The blessing I am releasing cannot be denied, cannot be stopped, and will change your life. It has already been set in motion. No plan of the enemy, no voice of doubt, and no delay can stop what I have spoken. For I, the Lord your God, have declared it, and what I declare is established. My precious child, I want to speak more clearly about what is being released, because I do not want you holding only a general promise. I want you to recognize it when it comes. I want you to know what to receive and what to steward well. The first blessing I am releasing is provision. You have experienced lack. You know the fear that comes when needs are approaching, and you cannot see how they will be met. You have learned how to stretch little resources through necessity and determination. You have prayed, Lord, will you provide, during the late hours when the numbers failed to work, and the options became fewer. My child, listen carefully. The season of scraping by is ending. I am not a God who delights in watching you struggle just to survive. I am the God who provides according to riches that have no end, no limit, and no boundary that human calculation can measure. Provision is coming from places you never expected. Favor will open doors that effort alone could never move. What was closed will open. What was dry will begin to flow. And when it comes, you will know it was my hand, because it will arrive in ways no human plan could have arranged. But provision is not the only thing I am restoring, my beloved. I am also restoring your health. The pain you have carried, the sickness you have learned to live around, the quiet prayers for healing you have repeated so often they became part of your daily struggle. I have heard every one. I have heard them all. I have felt what you have felt. The heaviness is leaving your body. I am releasing strength into your bones, breath into your lungs, and life into every part of the body I carefully created for you. What human wisdom and medical knowledge could not fully repair, my power will restore. Healing will arise suddenly, and its completeness will surprise you. Not only your body but your mind will be renewed. Your emotions will find stability. Your soul will be refreshed from deep within. I am bringing wholeness to every part of who you are. Spirit, soul, and body together, a complete restoration that prepares you for every blessing I am leading you into. State, I believe if you have faith, reconciliation is also drawing near. My precious child, I have heard the prayers you whispered concerning broken relationships. The relationships damaged by pain, misunderstanding, pride, or years of unspoken hurt. I know the longing you carried for peace within your family, for unity where conflict had settled in, for the restoration of someone you loved and lost and never fully stopped missing. I am moving now. I am softening hearts that became hard. I am humbling those who resisted. I am opening conversations that have remained closed for years. Forgiveness will flow where bitterness once ruled. Words left unsaid for years will finally be spoken. Wounds hidden beneath polite appearances will come into the light and receive true healing. The love restored during this season will not simply return to what once existed. It will become deeper, stronger, and more lasting, because it will be rebuilt upon honesty and my grace instead of fragile human effort. You will witness what only my spirit can accomplish. Hearts of stone becoming hearts that feel again. Relationships that appeared beyond repair being restored with a tenderness and wisdom that clearly bear my mark. And your prayers, the ones you thought disappeared into silence, the ones you prayed so many times that you lost count, the ones you barely dared to speak anymore because hoping had become painful, I am answering them now. Not only one or two, but many of them. arriving one after another like waves reaching the shore before you have time to fully absorb the previous one. Where you prayed for provision, abundance is coming. Where you prayed for direction, clarity is breaking through like sunlight after a long storm. Where you prayed for breakthrough, barriers are falling. Where you prayed for opportunity, doors are opening wide. Even the prayers from years ago that you thought were finished, I never abandoned them. They were waiting for my appointed time, and that time is now. My beloved child, I want to speak now about what follows, about what it means to fully enter the season I am releasing over your life, because receiving is not passive. It asks something of you, not striving, not performance, not exhausting effort to prove yourself worthy of what arrives. It requires only this: stay near to me. Keep your focus on me. Do not allow the wonder of the blessing to pull your eyes away from the one who gave it. Part of the reason for the waiting was to prepare your heart to receive without becoming controlled by what you receive. To hold blessings with open hands rather than closed fists. To remain grateful instead of entitled. Humble instead of proud. Generous instead of fearful. The season I am bringing you into is not the final destination. It is the beginning of a new chapter in the story, still unfolding before you. A story far greater and more beautiful than you have yet imagined. And so I tell you now what I have been telling you from the very beginning. From the first moment I started drawing your heart toward me. From the first quiet whisper placed within your spirit before you even understood whose voice was calling you. Trust me. Not with a passive trust that simply waits and watches, but with a living, active, expectant trust that keeps its hands open, its eyes alert, and its heart ready to receive what I am pouring out. Trust me when the blessing comes in a way you did not expect. Trust me when the road ahead looks different from the one you imagined. Trust me when the timing feels slower than you hoped, or when events begin moving faster than you thought possible. I know exactly what I am doing. I have always known. Every seeming contradiction in your story has rested safely in the hands of a God who sees both the beginning and the end at the same time, and who has never once lost sight of your purpose. My precious child, do not overlook the importance of what you protect during this season. I have spoken about blessings that are coming, and they are real. They are already on the way. But I must also speak to you about wisdom. There are things growing in your life right now that need protection while they are still young. Every new and tender thing requires care. Not every sacred gift should be announced before its time. Not every miracle needs an audience while it is still unfolding. There is wisdom in quietness. There is wisdom in keeping certain holy things between your spirit and mine until they become strong enough to stand in the open without being shaken by the opinions of others. When Joseph revealed his dream too early, it brought hardship. When David was anointed, many hidden years passed before he ever sat on the throne. The pattern of my kingdom is often this. I work deeply and quietly within before the results become visible without. This is wisdom, beloved. It is not fear. It is not weak faith. It is the discernment of someone who understands what is ready to be spoken and what is still being formed. Protect what I am developing inside you. Guard the small beginnings of breakthrough and miracle until they grow into something strong that cannot be uprooted and can be clearly seen by everyone. I love you. Not with a love that depends on your performance. Not with a love that weakens when you struggle, doubt, or feel less than you think you should be. I love you with the fullness of heaven itself. With a love that has remained steady through every season of wandering. With a commitment to your healing and flourishing that nothing in this age or any age to come can undo. You belong to me. You always have. And the season I am bringing into your life is not a reward you earn through perfect faithfulness. It is the expression of what I intended for you from the moment I imagined your life into being. So lift your head, beloved child. Wipe away the tears that belong to the season that is passing. Step into what is beginning with the same courage, that carried you through every dark season, that prepared you for it. The evidence of my faithfulness is about to become one of the clearest parts of your story. The testimony you carry from this season will strengthen every person I place along your path. The joy that is coming is not only for you. It is also for the lives that will be touched by your transformation. You are entering a season of such clear and visible blessing that your life itself will speak of my goodness. People will look at you and find hope for themselves. They will see what I have done in your life and begin believing that I can do the same in theirs. This is part of the gift I am entrusting to you, my precious child. Not blessing only for yourself, but blessing that overflows into provision, encouragement, and living proof for those connected to your story. Carry it wisely. Carry it with gratitude, humility, and the generosity of someone who received far more than was deserved, and therefore gives freely without keeping score. Let your life stand as evidence that I am exactly who I say I am. That I fulfill what I promise. That no waiting season is too long, no pain too deep, and no situation too far gone for my redeeming hand to transform into something beautiful. The season has arrived, beloved. The door stands open. The blessing is flowing. The miracle is already unfolding as these words settle within your heart. You will not wait much longer before seeing the confirmation with your own eyes. Soon the people around you will see it as well, and you will testify with a joy that comes from somewhere deeper than emotion. My God has fulfilled His promise. My God has gone beyond what I imagined. My God has proven faithful through every delay, every dark season, and every moment of doubt, and my life will never be the same again. Declare your amen if you receive this word. My beloved, let me speak again about what has been changing in the unseen realm around you. I want you to understand that these spiritual movements are not symbolic words describing something uncertain. They are real. The unseen realm is more real than what your eyes can presently see. What happens there affects every detail of your everyday life. When I tell you a door has opened, I mean access has been granted to places, people, and opportunities that were previously beyond your reach. Not because you were unworthy, but because the season had not yet arrived. That access was being protected and preserved until your life was ready to receive it without being overwhelmed. Think carefully about what it means when I open a door. It means the place beyond it was prepared before you ever arrived. It means the opportunity was already arranged, the relationship already being developed, and the provision already being gathered. When you walk through that open door, you discover that everything needed for what I called you to do has already been placed there. You are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into something already known in heaven, and now being revealed in your life. That is the promise of a door opened by my hand. Not a hopeful step into the unknown, but a confident entrance into something fully prepared for you. And when I close a door, trust me there as well, my precious child. I know how painful closed doors have been. I know the ache of reaching towards something with all your heart, an expectation only to discover it would not open. I know what it costs to continue trusting me in those moments. To resist believing that the closed door means there is something wrong with you. That you have been rejected. That the blessing belongs to everyone else but not to you. The doors I close are not rejection. They are protection and redirection. They turn you away from places that would have diminished you, wounded you, or drawn you away from the path I have carefully prepared. And behind every door I shut, I am already opening another one, a better one. A door that leads you exactly where you were always meant to go. Trust me in the doors that close just as much as the doors that open. Both come from the same love. My child, I want to speak about the people who are coming into your life. Not the ones who questioned you or the ones who walked away. Though I have spoken about restoring those relationships, and I mean every word, I want to talk about the new people. The ones who are not yet beside you, but are already making their way toward you. They are being prepared in their own seasons. They are growing through their own struggles and waiting seasons. They are becoming exactly the kind of companions you will need for what I am leading you into. These are people who will recognize what I placed inside you and celebrate it, instead of reducing it. People who will make room for your growth, instead of expecting you to already have everything figured out. People whose gifts, purpose, and experiences will fit alongside yours the way matching pieces fit together. Not because it will be forced, but because I designed it that way in my kingdom. You have felt lonely in ways that are difficult to explain. Not only the loneliness of being physically alone, but the loneliness of feeling unseen while surrounded by people. The loneliness of being known by name, but not truly known at heart. That loneliness has been real, and I do not dismiss it. But it is coming to an end, my beloved. The season of feeling misunderstood and unseen in the deepest parts of yourself is giving way to a season of connection that refreshes your spirit, strengthens your purpose, and reminds you every day that you are truly known. My precious one, I also want to speak about your purpose, about the unique and irreplaceable part you were created to play. Because one of the enemy's most persistent lies has been the suggestion that what you carry is not important enough to matter, that you are not talented enough, educated enough, visible enough, or polished enough to make a real difference. That lie carries the mark of the enemy, because it attacks the very thing I placed within you for the benefit of many. Your purpose is woven into the unique design of who you are. Your story, your wounds, your compassion, your ability to notice what others overlook, your voice that reaches certain hearts in a way no other voice can. There are people who will only receive what they need if it comes through you. Not through someone more famous, more refined, or more confident, but through you. The one who has walked through the darkness they are facing. The one whose words carry the weight of someone who has found light after hardship. This is not something small. It is not something you can continue to minimize or postpone. The assignment I prepared for you is ready. The people who need what you carry are already moving toward you. And the question now is whether you will show up fully as who you are instead of offering the smaller version of yourself that fear has convinced you to present. Take up the space, my beloved. Take up all the space I created for you. Fill it with the unique expression of who I made you to be. Let your voice be heard in its full strength. Let your gifts be shared without the apology that has followed them for too long. Live your life with the full measure of the calling I placed on it, because there are places in this world waiting for the sound of your voice. And as you do, as you step fully into this season with expectation and faith, I will continue doing what I have always done. Walking beside you, going ahead of you, carrying what is too heavy for you to carry alone, turning obstacles into opportunities, making crooked paths straight and rough places smooth. I will continue doing what I have always done and what I will never stop doing, loving you, my precious child, with a love that is beneath your feet, before your eyes, and present in every good thing in between. This is my promise. This is my declaration over your life. Not uncertain, not conditional, not dependent on your performance or on whether your faith feels strong enough during difficult days. My promise rests on my nature, not yours. My faithfulness is secured by who I am, not by how perfectly you hold yourself together. And I am faithful. I am true. I am the God who has never failed to keep a promise. The God who has never abandoned a child who continued reaching for me, even when my hand could not be felt. I am the God who restores every loss, transforms every sorrow, and brings harvest from ground that seemed too barren to produce anything at all. So move forward, my beloved. Move forward with your head lifted, your hands open, and your heart ready. Move forward with the confidence of someone who has heard the voice of the one who created them, the one who holds their future, the one whose words about them are the only words that ultimately define who they are. You are loved. You are chosen. You are prepared. You are stepping into the season I have been preserving for you through every difficult year that shaped you for this moment. And I am with you. I will always be with you. Not sometimes. Not only when you earn it. Not only when your faith reaches a certain level. Always. Every step, every breath, every morning, every evening, every moment of this beautiful, sacred, purposeful life that I gave you and continue to give you. The season is here. The blessing is flowing. The miracle is unfolding. Go, my precious one, and watch what I do. My precious one, I want to return to the subject of transformation because that word has been used so often that sometimes its true meaning is lost. When I say transformation is coming into your life, I do not mean a small adjustment or a surface change that leaves everything underneath untouched. I mean change at the root. I mean a renewal that reaches all the way down into the deepest beliefs about who you are, who I am, and what is truly possible. The kind of transformation that makes you almost unrecognizable, not to yourself, but to the smaller version of yourself you have been living as for far too long. The change I am bringing starts deep within you. It begins in the place where your thoughts live. The place where old stories have been repeating for years. Stories about your limits, your lack of worth, and the distance between where you are and where you hope to be. Those old stories are losing their power. Even now, they are losing their hold as you listen to these words. Every truth I speak enters your heart and pushes back what is false. Light does not argue with darkness. It simply arrives, and darkness moves away wherever the light reaches. That is what is taking place inside you right now. Truth is moving forward. Falsehood is stepping back. And in the space left behind, something new is beginning to grow. Something rooted in the true person I created you to be. This inner change will begin to show itself in ways other people notice before you do. They will see something different in the way you walk through life. A calm confidence that was not there before. A stability that no longer depends on the approval of others. They will notice that you do not shrink back so easily when challenged. You do not fall apart when criticized. You do not build your identity from the opinions of people around you. They will see that something deep has settled inside you. Something steady, peaceful, and secure. They may not know how to describe it, but you will. It is the deep understanding, not only in your mind but in your very being, that you are fully known, completely loved, and forever accepted by the one who created all things and still chose to create you. From this transformation, my beloved, comes a freedom you have not fully known before. The freedom to be completely yourself without constantly worrying about how others see you. The freedom to bring your full self into every conversation, every place, and every relationship without hiding the parts of yourself you feared were too much, too different, too vulnerable, or too strong. I created every part of you with purpose. Nothing about you was added by mistake. Nothing should have been removed. Many of the things you have tried hardest to hide are often the very things that carry what I intended to give through you to others. Your depth, your sensitivity, your courage, your gentleness, your ability to laugh deeply and grieve deeply, your willingness to sit with difficult truths instead of settling for easy answers. These are gifts. They are beautiful reflections of my image within you, and the world loses something valuable when you hide them. So I say again, my precious child, show up. Show up fully as who you are. Allow the people in your life to know the real you, not the carefully controlled version you created to protect yourself. The relationships that truly belong in your life will become stronger because of your honesty. And the relationships that cannot hold the real, you are simply revealing they were never meant to carry the weight of your future. Do not allow anything to keep you smaller than you are. Do not believe the lie that the world needs a reduced version of you more than it needs the full, honest, living person I created. My beloved, I am nearing the end of what I want to speak to you in this moment, but I want to leave you with one thing to carry forward. A truth so simple and so strong that it can hold you steady when everything else feels uncertain. That truth is this: I have not changed. Everything around you may change. Situations will change. People will come and go. Seasons will begin and end. Things that once felt certain may become uncertain again. But I have not changed, and I never will. My love for you has not changed. My purpose for your life has not changed. My desire to bring you into wholeness, growth, and the life I prepared for you has not changed. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. And because of that, everything I have spoken to you carries the strength of something eternal behind it. These words will not expire. This promise will not fade. This love will not be redirected somewhere else. You are my beloved. You have always been my beloved. And you will remain my beloved long after the struggles that feel so important right now have passed away, and their purpose has been fully understood. One day you will look back over your entire journey with clear vision and complete understanding. You will see that every thread was held together. Every detail was known. Every seeming contradiction belonged to a design so beautiful that the only response left will be a deep and grateful amen rising from your spirit. I am leading you toward that day. I am carrying you toward it. Amen. And every step between now and then rests safely in my hands. Go in peace, my precious one. Go with full confidence in what I have spoken. Go expecting to see signs of my goodness wherever you go. Go with open hands, a willing heart, and eyes filled with expectation, like someone who has heard the word of the Lord and chosen to believe it completely. You are loved. You are known. You are held. And the best part of your story is still ahead. The tide has changed. The season has shifted. The best is coming. And it is arriving now. I have spoken it, my beloved, and I do not take back what I have declared. Walk forward in faith, rest in my peace, and watch what I do. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.